Hey, so here's something you might not know. I personally respond to every single comment on my daily updates channel. That is every single one. And for the past few months, these conversations have become pretty valuable for the average person starting an AI and automation business. In daily updates, people ask very real questions. These are the ones that actually move the needle, and they get pretty detailed answers as well from me live, which helps them land clients and scale their businesses. Today, I want to take some of the most impactful questions and answers from daily updates and bring them here because I think that they're going to help way more people than just the person who originally asked. I want to give them exposure, and I want to help you guys solve your own AI and automation problems. Let's dive in. Quick question. What should I do when a client asks me about my past work and how they can trust that I'm capable of doing the job? I'm asked because I recently had a conversation with the prospect and they asked me, what work have you done when I completely blank? What should I do in such situations? And of course, I can't say I built some automations and watching YouTube videos. You can for sure. I mean, don't say, hey, I watched YouTube videos and I built automations. Instead say, yeah, I have built similar systems. I built them for like a software development agency. I can run you through the system if you want and then show them said system. What you don't tell them, obviously, is the fact that you just built them for yourself. You're heavy on the implication there. So is it the most honest way to frame things? Probably not the most honest way to frame things, but it is still technically honest. You did build it for a software consultancy or an AI consultancy or a consultant or however you want to pitch your own business. But yeah, so long as you built all these things for yourself first, like you're pretty good, right? You have actually gone through and you've done the building. So that's the simplest 0 to 1 hack. The second that you built it for yourself, you have technically built the system and you can just avoid all that BS. The second thing is, how can they trust that you're capable of doing the job? Dude, just offer a guarantee. Offer a guarantee on your service. Just say, hey, forget trust. I don't want this to be like a sales pitch. I want you to feel this on both an emotional level. I want you to like me and I want you to feel like I'm going to do a good job for you. But I also want you to understand this on a logical level. Like if I don't do a good job for you, you're not going to pay me anything. So I really want to align incentives. I want to make this a no-brainer for you. I really believe that I could do what you're asking and not just do it, but do it extraordinarily well. Hopefully I've now fulfilled the logical side of your brain and also that I want to make sure I like Nick side of your brain too. How we looking, right? Just get down to brass tacks, offer a guarantee. Guarantees they seem scary for a lot of people, but they're actually the simplest and easiest way to make more money. They increase conversion rates like 300% or more on the front end. They, have refunds, of course, as part of your guarantee. If you're offering a refund, you're going to have to give some, of course, from time to time, but it's usually like 10% of your margin. So mathematically, think about what you're doing for guarantees. Guarantee will give you 300% of your top side and then maybe minus 10% of your bottom. So if you start at let's say 1 times 3, that's 3. Then you minus 10%, that's 0.3. So you're still operating at like a 2.7x. That's just right off the top, and I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass, but hopefully you get the point that I'm making. Suraj says, first of all, huge respect for the value you're sharing. Incredible and inspiring for someone like me starting out. I'm working on building my own AI automation agency like you. I'm a bit stuck and confused. I understand the basics like making lead gen systems or client onboarding automations, but beyond that, I'm struggling to figure out what other kinds of high-paying systems and automations I could build to offer to clients. So could you help me understand how do you come up with systems that businesses would actually pay for? What are some AI-based systems that are currently in demand and can bring in real income? How can I start thinking like a problem solver, someone who can observe a company and come up with useful automation by myself? Basically, how do I train my mind to spot and build these opportunities? If you could break your process for how you think, identify problems, and craft automated solutions like you do for clients, that'd be insanely helpful. Thanks again for the value you put out to help more people like me than you can probably even realize. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. The thing about this, though, is, lead gen systems and client onboarding systems, believe it or not, this is probably like 70% of all the revenue that I've ever made. So more than enough right now. The vast majority of businesses struggle from lead generation issues. B2B businesses, and then client onboarding as well. So these two packaged together quite nicely can make you a ton of money. What's between lead gen and client onboarding? Obviously the sales. So like the proposal generator is a system that I've sold a ton of. And then now you have something where you generate the lead, then you help them close the lead, and then you also help them onboard the lead. So then what's the next step? Well, then you have something that helps them fulfill the lead. So some sort of system that templates out their work. And then at the very, very end, then you have something that helps them retain the lead, some sort of follow-up system. These are the systems that, actually make money, not some fancy AI agent thing. AI agents are changing now. And they're getting to the point where, they're actually pretty okay. They're fancy text classifiers for Christ's sake, but there are a lot of areas you might want to use them. So just hedging my bets there. But yeah, man, that's basically it. So you want to talk how I actually go through this process? All I do is I look at the flow of an average business. I look at the pipeline of an average business and I just ask myself, where is the bottleneck in that business? If I go theory of constraints, and I check out a pipeline. This is a book that I always recommend. It's called The Goal by Eli Goldratt. Unfortunately, when you load a million Google images, internet is obviously an issue, but hopefully you could see how this works. The idea is all businesses are just pipelines, and you can represent pipelines with bottlenecks. So this is a lead that comes into the system, right? Let's just say this is your business, okay? There's some money coming in. And then the idea is that there'd be more money coming out. Your business would do some sort of value add, and then it would multiply whatever the thing is. That's the arbitrage, the differential. So, at the very beginning of this, maybe this is your lead gen. Then here, maybe it's your sales. Then here, maybe it's your client onboarding process. Here, it's your fulfillment. And then here is your ability to retain clients. And this is the pipeline. Over and over and over again, clients just go through this. So what does that mean? If you are at this stage here, okay, and the width of your pipeline is this big, and you try and increase lead gen more, you're not actually going to make any more money because the bottleneck to the pipeline is your client onboarding. Okay, so the only way that you can make more money in your business is just by alleviating the bottleneck. And so if you can somehow get that bigger, then you could start worrying about increasing things. But yeah, you just wanted a mindset, methodology, series of systems, step by step. Check out The Theory of Constraints by Eli Goldratt. Awesome book. And yeah, in terms of the specific automation systems, you just go through that. You identify bottlenecks. And in practice, bottlenecks are almost always lead gen focused. The pipeline I showed you a moment ago isn't actually representative. It's rarely client onboarding. It's almost always just the top of funnel. And then what you do is you just for every bottleneck, you ask, okay, what are they doing right now? And how can we just do that faster? How can we just do that better? So it's not necessarily a specific system thing, although the specific systems I talk about certainly do help. It's more so just understand the bottlenecks, I would say. Lucas says, another great video. Can you please help me how to get customers with $0 while I'm 15 years old? Eventually, these questions are going to get so crazy that they're going to be hey, can you teach me how to fight off 1,000 Vikings with nothing but my bare hands? And it's no, probably not. Can you help me how to get customers $0 when I'm 15 years old? You can get customers with $0, and you can get customers at 15 years old. It's really difficult to get customers with $0. Also really difficult to get customers as a 15-year-old. If you multiply the difficulty of getting customers with $0 by the difficulty of getting customers at 15 years old, the resulting probability of you getting customers is pretty low, just to be frank with you. And I'm not saying this because I want to disincentivize you, but I just want to be clear that you are fighting quite the uphill battle here, my friend. If you had some money and you were 15, maybe it'd be different. But if you're at $0 and you're 15, that's going to be tricky, man, because a lot of people aren't going to want to work with somebody that young because they're just going to assume that the person's first or second or third job or whatever. Anyway, I'll tell you what a really bright, intelligent kid did for me. Forgetting his name, I ended up giving him a testimonial, but he wrote me some long custom email. He was watching my channel like you are, and he wrote me some long custom email all about how he thinks I could make more money if I started the community stuff. Then he gave me some big roadmap for free and said something hey man, can we get on a call? I just want to run you through this. He didn't mention his age. Didn't mention anything. He said, no strings attached. I just want to show you how you can make way more money. Give you a funnel, then you can take the funnel, you can do whatever you want with it. And I was all right, that sounds great. So I jumped on the call. He ran me through things. We ended up not working out, but I'm pretty sure he was 15 or 16. He was extraordinarily young. It was clear to me the second we jumped on the call that he was extraordinarily young, and he probably lacked a depth of experience here. So that was one of the reasons I decided not to work with him. But he still got me on a call. And at the time I was making over $100,000 a month. So what are the odds of you getting on a call with somebody that makes over $100,000 a month when you make $10 a month or whatever the hell your allowance is at 15 years old? Pretty damn low. So clearly this kid was doing something right. I ended up giving him a testimonial, thanking him for helping me set up the infrastructure. And yeah, it was pretty solid. So that's probably what I would do, man. I would do custom outreach, custom DMs, and I would also just really try and give value. All right. That's the number one thing. Authenticity is at a premium already. It's going to be at a major premium later. So just try and give value however possible. Study Motivation 6838 says, thanks for answering all the previous comments. Would you promise meetings booked for your AI lead gen or outreach system? Because I feel like I can offer leads, but the calls booked comes down to the offer of the business. But at the same time, they all want to hear meetings booked. How do you position it considering you have a case study for leads? Also, you mentioned cold email works for consultants or coaches. How would you go about writing copy, or what would your messaging look like if you're selling, for example, business coaching to medium-sized business owners? So would you promise meetings booked for your AI lead gen or outreach system? Absolutely. You should always be guaranteeing this sort of stuff. The reason why is because guarantees just align your incentives with the customers, and then there's basically no downside. If you screw up, you're out nothing except for time, but you gain a ton of experience. You paid down a bunch of the skill debt that you probably have accrued that you don't fully know about yet. And then the client has probably gotten results between 0 to what your guarantee minimum was, so they tend to always win as well. Let me give you a quick example of this. So if you had a guarantee, and let's just say your guarantee is 20 sales appointments in 60 days. What are the outcomes? If you think about it, there are a couple. The first outcome is that you hit it. Now, what happens if you hit it? If you hit it, that means you've delivered over 20 appointments in 60 days, meaning that the client is happy, okay? Not only are they happy, but you got paid. And odds are you've set a great impression on that client, and the likelihood of wanting to work with you more in the future is pretty high. The second possibility here is that you get between 0 to 20 appointments. Now, this technically doesn't fulfill your guarantee, but what does this realistically mean? Okay. The client has still gotten some results. Odds are you didn't get 0 appointments. Maybe you landed 7 appointments or something like that. They might have actually made a fraction of that money. You don't get paid, but the client still has a positive impression. Why? Because you just delivered them a bunch of stuff for free, man. That's about as clear as day as you can get towards value. The third and very unlikely scenario is you don't do anything. You book 0 appointments. I mean, like statistically, think about it. Even between 0 to 20, if this is uniformly distributed, this is just a statistical hack that I'm going to show you guys really quickly. There's a 5% chance of you getting 1 appointment, 5% chance you're getting 2, 5% chance you're getting 3, 5% chance you're getting 4, all the way up to 20, right? Basically, if there are 20 options here, there's a 5% chance of you getting each of them in this case. So the chance of you getting actually 0 appointments is very, very low. And it's probably way lower than 5%. I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible to understand here. But this is super, super unlikely. So what's actually pretty unlikely? In reality, if you're doing an offer like this and you're putting yourself out there consistently and you're pretty good with it, there's an overwhelmingly high chance that you hit it, probably greater than a 50%, meaning there's a 50% chance of you making whatever money you were going to make. So I don't know, let's say you were planning on charging $2,500. There's a 50% chance of making $2,500. You know what that means? That means that basically every time you take on one of these clients, you make $1,250, just mathematically. The other thing is you get between 0 to 20 appointments. Well, if there's let's say around 40% chance of you doing this, if you're a total beginner here, you've never done this before, then, you don't make $1,250, you make $0. But I'll tell you what, clients love getting things for free. The likelihood that you don't get anything from this client is actually pretty low. You've also helped them and you've learned a bunch. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's basically no downside to offering a guarantee, so long as you put the full force of your intention behind it and you do try. Because if there are 2 worlds and in the first world you offer a guarantee and the second world you don't, in which world do you think you yourself are more likely to learn and then grow? Obviously the one where you offer a guarantee, right? Why? Because guarantees are scary, they're hard, and they align your incentives. If you screw up, you don't get paid. Wouldn't you rather live in the future where you grow and learn more anyway? Obviously, this involves doing harder things. Obviously, you're going to push yourself harder than you would have otherwise if you didn't have the guarantee. But not only does this help the client, it also helps you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, cool. How to position it, considering you have a case study for leads. Also, you mentioned cold email works consultants. You know what? I would do this to write the copy. Watch me start and sell an AI service in 10 hours. This video here that I just brutally ripped off of instantly. And then I just repackage it and then turn it into how to do it for AI. So check this video out. This has everything that you need in terms of copywriting. Just go to the 57th minute of that. And then I run you through my actual copywriting process. It's the same across coaches, consultants, and everything else. And that's today's Q&A session. I hope these answers help you move forward with more confidence in your automation business journey. The questions we covered today represent some of, in my opinion, the biggest breakthroughs that I see people having in this space. Remember, if you guys have specific questions that are holding you back, do not stay stuck. My daily updates channel is where I dive deep into individual challenges. You can just drop your questions in the comments. I will get you the answers that you need, no sweat. And for those of you that want to accelerate your progress by joining a community of people who are already succeeding with their automation businesses, Maker School has been a game changer now for over 4,000 members. Our 90-day accountability program consistently helps people land their first clients within a month or two. So subscribe if this is valuable. Check out daily updates for a more personalized journey. Join Maker School, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you so much.